Hi guys, welcome back to the DiviShow by Big Flex Marketing. You are on episode number 15. I just left my home and the next guest's place is really very nearby to mine. कोविड में एक नाम बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस हो गया था, फिर वो नाम बीच में थोड़ा सा वैनिश हो गया था, फिर वो नाम वापस से जयपुर में फेमस हो गया है. इतनी सारी ब्रांड कोलैबोरेशंस में आ रहा है. कोलैबोरेशंस लाइक वाइट सेज, लाइक कार्बन इन जयपुर, लाइक नेटिव कॉकटेल रूम. गाइस, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट सेजल परनामी. शी इज़ द फर्स्ट पर्सन हु ब्रॉट फ्रेंच पेटिसरी इन जयपुर and a young entrepreneur. The last time I spoke to her, she had plans to move to London and already had a job in hand as a chef there. उसके बाद की अपडेट मुझे नहीं मिली है. In the very same scenario, हम कुछ महीने पहले भी बैठे हुए थे where we talked a lot about her life before COVID, after COVID, in the same scenario. आज वो फिर से रिपीट होएगा, बट दिस टाइम वी विल बी रिकॉर्डिंग इट एंड शोइंग इट टू यू गाइज. सो स्टे ट्यून्ड एंड आई विल सी यू इन द एंड. बाय. ये लो.
Thank you. Very good.
How are you?
I just got done with work. That's why I said 3:15 because 3 o'clock I was supposed to get done with work.
Baking cakes या अभी क्या operations हैं?
अभी तो वही है. So I usually get free on the weekends by 5 and on the weekdays it's earlier because I start in the night, right?
As in?
I start at 11, 12 every night.
Wow. So there might be a lot of like things जो आपको freeze करके रखनी होती हैं या.
हाँ, it's basically yeah, because entremets get set in the night. They need about 6 to 7 hours to set. So they get baked first, and then in the morning it's everything fresh. All your tarts, cakes, madeleines, everything is at a minute.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
You still have a team अभी? कैसे चल रहा है?
So when I closed down and I started again, I am rebuilding my team and I'm rebuilding my kitchen and rebuilding everything because I sold off everything and went.
Because last time we were stuck here, we were talking all about it.
Right, yeah. So now this team is small, but it's there.
Achha,
okay. So I'm happy.
So how is it like building it again?
So tough, man.
I know.
It's so tough, and I did not expect it to be this tough because I think I was delusional to the fact that it's going to be thoda sa easy breezy, but it turned out not to be that much. Like the first month was so easy breezy, I thought that it's fine, I can just pick it up from where I started again, and it's going to be all fine. And then I realized that the world doesn't forgive you that easily. So you have to put in your hard work a lot more. So ठीक है. It's been a little tough and a little rocky, and especially with the almost recession kind of hitting us at the same time, and everyone forgetting the COVID norms, and like the COVID normalcy has gone away, right? So everything's returning to physical spaces a lot more. People are forgetting the world of like cloud kitchen, and I was always like a smaller setup. Like the small sustainable batch
you used
cooking
to work on
and stuff
Instagram
like that.
only इससे पहले भी.
Only Instagram. Now the website and all is there.
Yeah, and now
but it's still like I want to do the small batch baking only.
Okay.
So everything's going to be small
because
batch.
वो ethics एक बार set हो जाते you would not want to change
that's
it.
the entire reason I started this, right? To make small batch thing happen. Now everyone wants physical spaces. They're not really that interested, and they're not putting in the time, right? Because attention span has reduced quite a bit. So for things like mine, you need to understand, and everyone was really, really into it in COVID because they were discovering something new. They had the patience of learning. Right? True. And my entire USP has been that I keep it real. It's real fruits, real dairy, real cacao. Everything's organic ingredients. There's nothing like no bullshit happening over there. Unless I understand the entire chemistry behind the food, which I'm not supposed to. Unless you don't understand it, I don't use it.
Right.
So for people to understand and give it that 2 minute of headspace to just be like, okay, so whatever you're putting in is basically everything that we have in our house already, but it's just you are keeping it as real as possible. And for people to understand what entremets are, and then you're creating something really, really nice, and find these flavor combinations sound very wacky, but together they're really, really nice. So just उस thought process को आने के लिए ही So you need 2 minutes of headspace. But after COVID has gone completely, हम सब लोग normal हो चुके हैं वापस. You don't give that much attention. So it takes a little bit of time and education, but I think we're getting there anyways. Because everyone is bored. I get bored very easily.
But now with your website, I think you'll be able to track how many people have you retained lately. Because Instagram pe obviously you can't track
like
kitne
insights
loyal.
and doing the backward marketing has gone a little easier with the website for sure. And I think my main point of it was that everyone understands things very easily and it's on the go. Like they don't have to spend that many minutes making that order. For me, just that the orders, the time spent ordering something had to be reduced significantly. And that's the reason the entire website came into being.
Okay. A little personal on your journey, like the last time we were sitting, you already had a job from London and you were planning to go if you were...
So my visa was under par, right? Like I was already working there on a temporary work visa.
Yeah.
And I got the job of a, chef de partie. So any kitchen hierarchy has like different roles in it, right? So you have your head chef, you have your sous chef, you have chef de partie, then you have your deputy chef de partie, and everyone is below that. Commis 1, 2, 3. That's just the hierarchy, right? Like how we have it in any other professional space as well. So what I got was chef de partie, which is a senior position.
Right.
A little bit of senior position, not that senior as well. Usually, and I got it in the Savoy Grill, which is a restaurant by Gordon Ramsay in the very famous Savoy Hotel, which is iconic on its own. Right. So for that, they wanted me to have me full on and as a permanent team member, and they fast tracked my visa. So when they submitted the application and I submitted the application, I came back to get all my things and to permanently move to London. I had closed down Sejal Parnami Patisserie and I was here to pack my bags because I was moving. Then we find out that the government does not think that I have enough experience because at the end of the day, I'm still 23. I still have had only 5 years of experience in this industry, and for a chef de partie in the Savoy Grill, you need to have many years of experience. So they could not justify enough why they could not find similar talent with more experience in their own country, and why they had to get me from India to work there, because they were like, you don't even have an undergraduate degree. So like there's nothing accounting for unless apart from the fact that they chose me. And Gordon Ramsay did the interview and he was like, yeah, you are suitable for this role. And my skill sets were there, but at the end of the day, my CV did not have 10 years of experience. And they needed someone older and 10 years of experience. And everyone who was like, nahi, hame London mein itna tumhe kaise nahi mila, tumhe puri UK mein kaise nahi mila, ki tum India se lekar aa rahe ho. So it's just reverse imperialism.
Because I was wondering, you started your website and then I was like, okay, and then a lot of collaborations also happened. I'm like, okay, ab plan hoga, and then with website I got dicey. So I was like, ab puchna padega, what's up?
I already closed down Sejal Parnami, and then I had come back, and then the first call that I got was that the visa is taking 4 weeks. So I was like, I'm here for 4 weeks, and me, I can't sit idle. So the first native collaboration happened because I was like, I'm here for 4 weeks, I'll do something fun. Right, so I started doing something fun. I did a lot of collaboration, I did back-end, I did consultation for people. But the second I got to know that this is the problem that's happening, I started building this up. So I was like, okay, let's just bring back everything that I had worked for, then demolished to go to my dream, and then the dream's gone again because it had already gone when COVID happened and I lost the job in Italy. So I had come back, and so I was like, okay, let's just redo it, pick up the pieces.
Oh man, what mindset are you in now?
Now I've settled and understood that this is going to be it, and I'm working because okay, so I'll tell you a little like a backstory behind everything, right? I never wanted to open in Jaipur. I did not think कि यहाँ market है, यहाँ पे चीजें हैं जो मेरे को चाहिए, and the kind of the place where people are mad over desserts and where I can learn constantly. Every time I go there and I'm like, मैं तो यहाँ अच्छा कर ही नहीं पा रही हूँ. I needed that push, I needed that motivation, and I wanted to challenge myself. And I wanted to learn constantly. Like every step of the way, there should be a lot of things better than me that I constantly take inspiration from, and I keep fighting the fight. And that for me was outside. That was in France where I already worked at. That was in Italy. those were my dream places. I wanted to go to the European countries and keep on working there and become something. And I didn't know I want to open my business because I come from a business family. I see the kind of stress they go through. They're constantly under the pressure. And I was a chef. I wasn't an entrepreneur. I was a chef. I was happy being a chef.
Right.
But of course, I wanted to be the leader of the kitchen and everything. COVID happened. I came back. I was supposed to go to another job. I lost that job. I was stuck here. So a month into COVID, when they said that you're going to open the grocery stores those 3 hours in the morning, I decided that I'll do pop-ups because I used to do them when I was in school. I started it when I was 16 years old. I was like, I'll just do that again just for the sake of killing time because I have no idea what lies ahead of my life. So I started doing that. It picked up. 2 months into it, it became an entire business. 4 months into it, I was building a kitchen. 5 months into it, 6 months into it, I had like 7 employees. Right? It just blasted into this big thing. Like I can't even say bloom into something. Right? Just blasted. It was just very, very quick. Very
because
quick
last time I also remember and at that time I had no idea of having a show for sure. तभी मैं आपसे out of my curiosity I was asking कि हुआ क्या यार ऐसा because पूरे COVID मैंने भी देखा कि it was all about Sejal Parnami's new desserts that were coming in और and you had just one answer कि यार बस
हो गया
पिकअप हो गया मतलब
everyone understood, they loved it. हमने खाया, they were like amazing taste, amazing
but
quality.
उससे पहले क्या insecurities थी कि French palate किसी को पसंद भी आएगा कि नहीं?
I was like,
what was your research like इस पे?
Listen, उससे पहले whenever I used to make it, even when I started it, everyone wanted the same flavors, right? If I tried to introduce them such naya, they were backing off from chocolate and mint, let alone introducing yuzu and lavenders and blackberries. And I was putting wasabi in my entremets, right? I was selling them something which has maple, wasabi and cream cheese.
Oh my god.
So for them to understand it, accept it and actually love it, it was a shocker for me. Because I think during the past 3 years, the Jaipur palette has expanded to another degree. उससे पहले नहीं समझ आ रहा था लोगों को, but COVID in this sense was a blessing because everyone kind of went online. They just explored their options and they wanted to experience life.
Right.
And जो मेरे को हमेशा से लगता था, Jaipur people love eating and they love enjoying everything.
For sure.
All around us, there is just so much to do around food and every activity starts and ends कि कुछ खाते हैं, है ना? तो फिर everyone's very fond of it. तो COVID में they found the space कि वो और कुछ discover कर सकते हैं. And curiosity is there. So everyone was expanding, everyone was exploring, and they started adapting. So like my biggest flavors from the start, my biggest like hot seller was lavender, yuzu and blackberry.
Okay.
When I used to say these flavors पहले, जब मैं यहाँ पे पहले करती थी, they used to not understand a single word of it. They were like blackberry बिना दूसरी बेरी से खाया नहीं, वो साथ में मिक्स हो जाता है तो समझ आता है. Lavender पता नहीं क्या है, सुना तो हुआ है, but परफ्यूम में अच्छा लगता है. परफ्यूम में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, टेस्ट तो पता नहीं था होता भी है उसका. And yuzu का मजाक उड़ा के कि yuzu का नाम कैसे स्पेल होता है, उसको करके they used to move on and they were like तो सीधा नींबू बोलो ना. So they started picking up like this and it was just really, really nice to see Jaipur understand it, to see Jaipur try it, and they used to come and my biggest problem always was education. They need to be educated about what entremets are. And I had the time and I had the patience, so I was sitting with clients on call when they're ordering a very, very small piece of cake for about like 30-40 minutes, just trying to make them understand what it is. So that was the start, right? Just me giving all of my time and energy कि सबको बस समझ आ जाए and they're comfortable with the concept. Because I feel like जब तक you're not very comfortable, आप नहीं order कर सकते. You are not very happy with it.
True. And we are talking about either birthday cakes or anniversary cakes, so they don't want to spoil an occasion. That's why they would be very, very careful.
My tagline is happiness is edible, right? It's because I cater for happy occasions. You have a birthday, you have a party, you have anything, कुछ भी celebrate कर रहे हो तो मेरा cake जा रहा है, right? So I'm always a part of a big and important and
they'll again be very particular.
It's like, will everyone understand it? And the second part was, I was trained in French cuisine, right? I mastered entremets and plated desserts. So those were my two specialities and I wanted to build it in that only. Of course, plated desserts could not happen. But all of that and the entire patisserie that I had been trained had egg in it. Every single step of the way, there's so much egg in it, right? and I had to come here into India, which is the highest population of vegetarians inside the world, to Rajasthan, which it has the highest contingent of vegetarians inside India, and then to the capital of it, जहाँ पे हर चीज का एक ही होता है, ये eggless है ना. So to turn everything eggless, I had to build every recipe from scratch. I was 20 years old. I had recently turned 20, and to forget everything that I had learned and to understand what it was, and chemistry wise build it मेरी खुद की रेसिपी से सब कुछ, because I was like I don't want to take it, I want to take it as a challenge again. कहीं से कॉपी नहीं करूँगी, सब कुछ ही खुद रेसिपी बनाऊंगी. So I sat down, मैंने सबका बनाया, everything eggless except for of course eclairs and कुछ जो मैं नहीं बन सकता. But apart from that, everything is eggless and everything is my own recipe. It's not taken from anywhere.
Wow. What about the brand name? I know that you do all the photo shoots, the beautiful shots that you take.
Yeah.
Very, very aesthetic. All the ingredients are there, splashed somewhere around. Very nice colors popping up. What was your
story? I'll tell you.
What was your thought when you were building this brand? कि मैं ऐसे करूँगी. Let's take the name. Even the name.
It started with Diablo Bakes actually.
Yeah, what is Diablo Bakes?
So when I was okay, you know how every actor has a stage name in theatre?
Yeah.
I wanted to have a chef name.
Okay.
So I named myself Diablo Scar. So Diablo is basically devil in Spanish.
Okay.
And I was 15 years old, and everyone around me used to like consider desserts कि आज तो हमारा cheat day है. It's a sinful dessert. It's death by chocolate, right? And I was like, if I'm controlling all of this, and I'm the master of sin right now, I'm the devil, right? I'm Satan. So I was like, Diablo. It just fits very nicely. Yeah. And Sky is basically something that felt cool somewhere, to be fair. But so I just became Diablo Sky, and then I wanted to be like, okay, Diablo Bakes. And I started my home business. It ran for 2 years. Then I went to Bombay to learn further. That was the 2 years of school when I was running it. So when I came back with Diablo Bakes. And फिर वो trademark चला गया मेरे से.
I can just imagine how much success has shattered you also in places, which is very, very inspiring to see, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
you were just saying it casually, but that one day is entirely fucked when stuff like this happen, and it depends on like the magnitude of the issue कि वो एक हफ्ते तक रोना करना है उसका या 15 दिन चलेगा.
See, I treated it कि hurdle है, कूदना है, and I like hopping. Simple. I hop a lot. If I walk, I start hopping on my own. So ठीक है, hurdles है, hop कर लेंगे, कोई बात नहीं.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so Diablo then became that. Trademark chala gaya, classic business story. So I was like, and then I tried every single name, सबका trademark जा चुका था. And सारे ऐसे गए थे 2 हफ्ते पहले, 1 महीना पहले, just got registered. So I was like, मेरा नाम थोड़ी कोई लेगा. I'll build it on my own name. अब मेरा क्या ले सकते हो? So I just started a Sejal Parnami Patisserie.
Okay, nice. And what's your story behind the shoots?
Behind the shoots, okay, so I did it as of course COVID time, and my entire audience was Insta, right? So I started it on my own personal account. मैंने ऐसे कुछ करना नहीं था. I had around roughly 500 people who already knew me. मेरा वही account चल रहा था. All I had to do was private से मैंने public कर दिया, and I started putting pictures of just normal cakes and stuff. And I started with a very small budget because I was very adamant कि ये तो मेरा full time बनने वाला नहीं है. It's a hobby on the side. So I didn't want to take, like, I took a 5,000 rupees ka loan from my mother. I treated it as a loan. I paid it back in 15 days also. But I started with one chota sa oven and one cake curtain, and I built everything from there. So udhar I understood that if I want to do the online game, I need to take nice pictures. And I tried copying stuff. I tried getting, you know, like same frame ko copy kar lo, wo sab kar lo. It did not work for me. So I have this old door in my house. It's a थोड़ा सा, you know, completely washed out wood, पूरी खराब हो चुका है वैसा, and there's like a marble table on the bottom. तो वहाँ रख के I tried to do it for the first time, and I started enjoying it, and then it became a thing for me. Because then I started that how would I think that it is naturally presented, and for me everything has a story. So I started thinking कि, you know, where do I want this cake to go? अगर किसी के टेबल पे जा रहा है तो वो कब खा रहा है? So if I was like a tea cake, so I wanted it in the morning and with breakfast. So I always had like the chai and the newspapers and everything coming about it. So I wanted to keep it as casual and possible. And मेरे दिमाग में was always vacation. So if you see my starting का pictures, it has a lot of COVID masks. It has a lot of bags. It has sunglasses and a
Oh.
lot of sun hats because I really wanted to go on a vacation at that point. But ho nahi raha tha because of course all of us were stuck inside.
Yeah.
So it all got inspired by that. Like, where do I imagine this cake going? What do I imagine
Wow.
happening about this? Then that started, so every picture frame kind of had just like a small story behind it. And then people started calling me a stylist. And I was like, ye to main nahi thi, but theek hai, why not? And then I started getting gigs. So I do food styling as a side, right?
Oh,
Yes, I do it for other
wonderful.
brands, I do it for other creators. So they just come up to me and they're like, just make it as natural and seamless possible. And I was like, okay. So I just started imagining and I just go on doing about it. And it has a lot of perfume also because I'm obsessed over perfume. So every shoot of mine, you'll have this one lousy like perfume in the back and little toys and animals. They're always like sprinkled here and there. So everything that always does not make sense.
Yeah.
Ki, theek hai, you have
But
all
it
your
matches with your
chocolate.
story.
हाँ. It has chocolate and almonds sprinkled on the side.
Yeah.
आपके बीच में एक monkey क्या कर रहा है? But it's like, if you are in my head,
Head.
it makes a lot of
Makes
sense.
sense.
But you have to be in my head.
Wow. You went through a phase of a lot of transformation as well. I saw your previous pictures, lost a lot of weight.
Oh, that.
Changed your entire, I feel, personality. Then switching from just a chef to an entrepreneur, you have worn like multiple hats. I wanted to know what your
hats.
I wanted to know how your mindset changed when you were trying to transform yourself physically. I'm not talking about क्या किया और कैसे किया. I'm talking about mindset में क्या आया आपके.
I'll tell you very honestly. So I started losing weight after my boards. After my 12th class boards happened, I was 107 kgs big. Right, and I just started losing because I wanted to lose it for the longest time. About my life, I was like, I'm fat.
Right.
And my mindset was that of a fat girl.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that once you're a fat girl, that becomes your entire personality. Whether you tell it or not, that affects every decision you make.
Right.
It's not just about how you look or what clothes you wear. It's about how you perceive yourself and आपकी self worth ऊपर नीचे सारा time उसी के ऊपर होती है. Like I could be winning medals. I used to be a debater. I got some awards. I used to be on the stage, and in my head, I was worthless because I was still the fat chick. Right, and I wanted to get away from it, and I had a free time because I didn't do college. So when everyone was applying for ये exams है, ये entrance exams है, we are going for college, मैं कहीं जा नहीं रही थी. I was gonna go to study bakery, something I've always wanted to do. There was no entrance for it. For 3 months I was free. So I just started, working on myself. कि ठीक है, I worked on everything else my entire life. These 3 months, let's just try giving it on me.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of course I used to work out. I was on a strict diet, and within 3 months I lost my first 20 kgs.
Okay.
It did not impact me when it was like those first 3 months because my entire routine used to be just like doing things that help me lose weight.
Yeah.
Right. But then when I get out of it, I realized that I'm being seen more. I'm being replied to more. I'm being acknowledged as a person. And that hurt.
Yeah.
Because for me it was that I was always a person. Like now you find me funny. Now you think that I'm a personality, I'm an extroverted person.
Yeah.
Guess what? I've been that all my life. You just never saw me because it's easier to consider the biggest person in the room as the most invisible.
Yeah.
आप उन पे ध्यान नहीं देते हो. आप उनकी personality पे भी ध्यान नहीं देते हो. They're the fat person.
Yeah.
And guess what? You feel like that. You always consider yourself कि I am the invisible person in the room. At the end of the day, I am the fat person. Right? So you don't really give a lot of worth to yourself. And suddenly, what I was speaking was mattering more than what I was wearing. That has never happened.
Right.
Whatever I was doing was mattering a lot more than how I looked when I sat down and how much space I was taking up.
Yeah.
So for me, I also started judging myself a lot more, I think. When I was fat, I think I was a lot more carefree. I was just doing whatever I wanted to do, and I was Sejal Parnami.
Yeah.
When I got thin, I was more of that I'm still not thin enough. I'm still not looking as I perceive myself to be when I would lose weight.
Right.
So I was like, I just liked myself more when I was fat, I would say. But then, okay, this all happened, and I just considered, the entire process, the thought process that went into later my business as well, that everything has to be sustainable. So I switched to intuitive eating. I tried a lot of diets. Nothing ever worked for me. I'm not a person to really work out. So I just heard my body. I heard myself. Right?
Okay.
I wanted to find my voice, and then I found my voice on my own. Then my body used to tell me, this is what I want to eat right now. If it's a burger or it's a salad, if it's anything else, my body would tell me that listen, thoda sa aur fiber de na. And I would just go for it. So I started going with the flow, right? And then when I started cooking and I started doing all of that, I had become so mindful about what I put in my body automatically, because I was so used to just listening to my body and it used to reject so many things. I used to just put exactly that in my food. Right? So the non-dairy cream is out for me. Agar tumhari whipping cream mein cream hi nahi hai, which is something that's available everywhere. You know, you can't find whipping cream in Jaipur because no one uses it.
What do they use?
It's a non-dairy whipping cream. Your whipping cream does not have cream in it, and that's a fact that's acceptable to everyone. All your cakes, all your frostings, they don't have dairy in it, इसलिए वो melt नहीं होता है.
Wow. My first shock was margarine and butter.
Margarine and butter.
And butter.
Your things that you think has butter in it and कितना harmful होता है, it has something more harmful. इसमें dairy नहीं है.
Exactly.
You're basically just having hydrogenated oils left, right, and center, and that's why desserts have such a bad reputation. It's so bad for you. If you don't understand the flour that's put into it, if you don't understand the leveling agents that put into it, अगर आपके सारी frosting, सारा अंदर का filling is not made from real fruits but from canned stuff, and it has a lot of mixings involved into it, your body won't feel good. And if I don't feel good, I cannot serve it to my customers ever. Your chocolate does not have cocoa butter in it or cacao mass in it, right? Unless there is not that, it's not real chocolate. It's compound chocolate. That's used everywhere. That's why this.
I've seen it on the labels as well.
Yeah,
like the
it's
bigger
cooking
chunkier
chocolate, right? Cooking chocolate, compound chocolate. One thing I'm glad is that Jaipur is finally accepted the fact that chocolate is a thing, and everyone's using real chocolate. Not everyone, but like a lot more people. Instead of the random 2 people in the city, it's at least 20 out of still 20,000. But it's really good that they understand real cocoa now. I just really want them to understand real fruit. I want them to understand real ingredients. That whatever you put into it, if it's available abundantly in nature and around you, it's going to be good for you.
Right. And how is your tasting sessions like post this? Like staying still in the food industry and in the devil of all the dishes. How are you still taking care of yourself, and what is the amount of self-love at this point?
As I said, it's mindful eating, but very intuitive eating, right? Because I'm a major foodie. I can put an from inside and still that fat girl, right? Right. So
that syndrome won't go away.
Yeah, and I eat a lot. My appetite is huge. I eat massive portions of things at a time because I really like to, right? But at the same time, I go everywhere and we're always nitpicking and I'm always choosing what to eat. And there's been a shift, to be fair. Like, I'm attracted more towards things that are already nutritious but made really, really, really yummy. And when I can't find it in a lot of places, I make it myself. And that's why I found out the fact that I can do culinary as well. I did not know that. But then I find out that I can make a lot of dishes.
What's your favorite savory dish to make?
It's very weird, but it's something. Okay, so I don't even have a name for it. Okay, it's almost like an eggplant risotto, but it is not.
Okay.
It's just it's a dish out of eggplants. I roast it. I make it a lot of spices. I start off with a very Gujarati take on it. I think it's bangan ka bhakri or something like that.
Okay.
I start making that, and then I turn it into a stew. And a stew I make a risotto, and that is my favorite dish to eat. It's delicious.
I want to try it.
It's delicious. and then I top it off with feta cheese. So मैं गुजरात से इटली जाके ग्रीक में खत्म होती हूँ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You have experienced so many cultures also, I feel, so you can blend them all very...
I think so. I feel like, okay, I read, right? I enjoy reading a lot. Everywhere you go, today I didn't bring a book because I had to remind myself that naini drive hai. It's okay, you're not stepping out, but I take a book with me everywhere I go. I read when I have 15 minutes free. I read when I'm sitting with my coffee. I go out for coffee every day with myself and I read. So I feel like with that gets exposure. Your mind is getting exposed to things that you don't necessarily have experience, but you have experience at the same time. So I was always very, very fond of every culture in the world because I've read from them. I know about them. I've been in that.
And what is this genre?
Every genre.
Achha.
Every genre will give you exposure. You don't have to like.
No, not exposure.
Thing.
What is your
I like
genre?
Every genre, to be fair, because I'm more into non-fiction written as fiction. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a very story-told version of non-fiction facts and things that have happened in the world.
Right.
I think that's the genre I'm into currently. Earlier, there was a huge political controversy thing that I had. So, like the past 20-30 books was all about things that have happened in India and all this political stuff that were huge. So, stories about that I was really into. Then of course, there was always a fiction point that comes in between as a breathing thing. Yeah, so all of that goes on. Then I was into Japanese authors for some time because they have
that reflects in your food as well.
That does. Yeah, that really does. I did not know till now, but I think that was. Thanks for pointing it out.
You're welcome. I have this rapid fire prep for you. Since we like literally planned this interview yesterday, there's usually a Main Khamaka segment in my videos, but I couldn't find anyone, so we'll have to do just rapid fire.
Okay.
Most unexpected flavor combination
that I've done?
Yeah.
Yogurt, Yakult, raspberry, matcha and wasabi. Yakult, yogurt, raspberry, matcha and wasabi.
Oh. Okay.
That was my stroll in Tokyo. I made it and then I did an entire function with it. It was amazing. Best thing that I did not expect to come out of me.
Your a home bakery or a studio or a bakery? What do you prefer?
What I want or what do I prefer in, like working at?
Working at?
Small scale bistro.
Oh, sweet. I literally like went into your pin board and saw that you are an Aquarian. Are you?
I am.
I know you are, no? So
you're a very old pin board. I need to remove. Okay.
I stalked you way too much.
Oh shit.
An Aquarian trait that you're proud of?
Very hyper mentality and not satisfied with things.
Okay. An Aquarian trait that you hate?
Very hyper mentality, not satisfied with things.
That makes. I'm also an Aquarian.
Yay! You get it.
Yeah, I do. Most memorable customer story.
Most memorable customer story. It's actually cute and funny at the same time. I would say. So there was this person who had just moved into Jaipur. She is a foreigner and she's lived outside her life outside the entire time. This was her first time experiencing India. And as soon as they landed, COVID happened and her husband, the Indian, was stuck outside for a good year. Okay. So every single day, he used to send her something through me with a little note attached with it. Just to remind herself that it's okay and things to try out, right? And sometimes it was just that, आटा कैसे बनाता है उसका recipe and things like that. It was not necessarily a cute message or something like that. It was more of that, if you want this, you can do that. Do not get scared by the gargling noises that uncles do in the morning. It's normal. And stuff like that. Very cute stuff. But every single day, I used to deliver this to her with a note attached to it. And it was so cute. Like in the end, I knew that entire story, whatever was happening with her. And I became so close to her and she's one of my great friends right now.
Oh wow. I need their picture. I hope they are now together.
They are still together. Yeah. They moved here, then they moved to Bangalore now. So now they live in Bangalore, but it's a very cute story. And
I'll put the picture right here. Most challenging aspect of running a virtual pastry shop?
That you cannot always explain people what the experience is going to be like, right? Like you can't taste everything, especially with flavors like mine. Not everyone over here knows that apricot is a flavor, and I've done apricot and lavender too many times, and I need to make them understand that it's something incredible. And my talking makes the biggest part of it, right? I need to convince the other person that it's worth it. Because it's something that they don't even know.
There's still a lot of time for you to move to a co-pilot. I mean, like you just act as you're not the driver of all the sales.
Yeah.
That'll take time, I feel.
I feel Initially, that would take time because I handed it over to someone else, of course, because I wanted to take a little burden off me.
Yeah.
But it did not work. Because I realized that the major part of my business running is the interpersonal relationships and talking factor that actually happens. Every time they come here, everyone's on call, and even with the website running now, because the screenshots आते रहते हैं इसमें अच्छा है ये अच्छा है आप बताओ ना कुछ ये करो ना. So it's like even the website is there. उसमें हर चीज लिखी हुई है, हर चीज है. उसके बाद भी everyone still calling me, messaging me and asking me, and I'm like ये मैंने किसी और को दे भी दिया. And करा भी हुआ है. It just does not work because they still want to talk to me to understand more. Right. And I think if I've taken up the challenge कि मैं जयपुर को entrepreneurial खाना सिखाऊंगी, तो उसमें सिखाने वाला फैक्टर मैं इग्नोर नहीं कर सकती. No matter कितना अच्छा जा रहा है business, I still have to be the person जो कॉल पे हर जने से बात करके उनको समझाएगा. And I'm happy to do that, but it's tough.
Wow. So instead you were lacking out on, I think, interpersonal relationship one-on-one with the virtual pastry shop. With the
virtual pastry shop, yes, आप सारे टाइम नहीं कर सकते, right? You don't have the thing that oh hey, you're welcome, hi, back here, and stuff like that, and you're like यार फिर से बीवी से डांट पिटी है, वो सब वो नहीं होता.
वो नहीं होता. Right. Dream brand collaboration.
Dream brand collaboration would be with Amara Guchoni. Okay. Yeah, this is my dream chef. I want to work in.
I had Sanyogita here as well. She also spoke about the same person.
Ah, brilliant! Yeah.
Quick and easy baking tip for beginners.
Put it in the microwave. The thing is, it's the easiest thing to do. You can't fault it, and that's a great motivator. Mug cakes अच्छे बन जाते हैं, बहुत मजा आता है.
Wow. Your inspiration growing up?
My inspiration growing up was my dadi.
How?
She is a trailblazer, okay? She is the ultimate boss woman that you would know. She was running businesses on her own. She was running charitable things on her own. She did every single thing at home as well. And she's the best cook that I know. So she always knew exactly what she wanted, where she wanted to go, and no one was coming in her way.
Right.
And she just went. She was a go-getter every step of the way, and she was just going, getting, achieving. If I used to go out with her, she was the most recognized big personality around as well.
Wow.
At the same time, she was the most humble and getting sad if I tell her कि उनकी दाल अच्छी नहीं बनी types. And just feeding her family was her main goal. But it is a lot of love. So I think that kind of person is all I wanted to be.
Wow. Your favorite baker in Jaipur before you started Sejal Parnami and after?
God, that's difficult. I would say I was a huge fan of Fat Guy Patisserie, and I still am. I think
the day
I do not want to cook and I don't want to make my own dessert because I'm on my period and कोई और खिलाएगा मुझे, they feed me. They're very sweet that way.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much, Sejal. This is my patent move. I feel अब मैं यही करती हूँ सबके साथ. But it always comes from a place of inspiration and motivation.
You're inspired by me?
Yeah, for sure.
Thing, but
oh please, yaar, come on. It's fantastic what you're trying to do. Everyone who is working towards changing the society, this is a change that you're bringing. That's more like
I want to call it growth, but I don't think this is changing the society. I think it's just growing the society.
This is
something that all of us have it in ourselves because we want to eat and we want to eat better. मैं कुछ amazing कर नहीं रही हूँ, मैं सिर्फ लोगों को खिला रही हूँ. So at the end, it's just like growing. I never say that I'm trying to change anything. I just say I'm trying to grow something.
Yeah, growing the society, we can say, and a very good move, man. Love it. And obviously I love your desserts, so. And thank you for the natives collaboration that you did for every I was amazed by the fact that for every cocktail you had one ingredient picked and like used in a dessert, and it came together fabulously, like in a single go.
Pairing cocktails, even with like savory stuff, I just love pairing cocktails. Mixology is like a that side project of mine that I do not bank on and I don't plan on doing it anytime soon, but I love it. I'm obsessed about it. I'm obsessed about cocktails and how they come into being, and even spirits. So I love using things, and even with the brunches that I used to do at Noam. So that was the kind of goal, right? Like pair meals with the cocktails and stuff like that. So that was fun. I like it.
Wow.
And I love
Lovely. Me too. Thank you so much. See see you very soon.
Bye.
And we'll chill together.
Yes, please.
Bye guys, see you in the next episode.